Hey everyone, what's up? I am CTM the Emotionless, you can call me Savage, and welcome to Please Don't Tease Me, Miss Nagatoro Episode 3 review. You know, I did this last week and I'm really excited to go into this one because this actually so far has been, I would say, my favorite episode of the series so far. Yes, I know, it's only 3 episodes in, so we have plenty of time to have that change and adjust, but I might as well get it out there right now saying this is actually my very favorite one so far because we learned a lot about Miss Nagatoro. Yeah, we learned a lot about her in this episode, a little bit more of her personality, and we actually learned something about the senpai in question, which is also very important when it comes to characters. So moving forward, let me just remind you guys to please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and also ring the notification bell as well so you'll be notified anytime I make videos such as this. I am trying my best to be daily. Last week wasn't so good because I've been having some error with even being able to edit, but you know, that doesn't matter. Let's just try to get going and right out the road. This is my second time recording this. So, you know, that's the errors I've been dealing with. So let's just get it started, and right off the bat, we are starting with the episode with our boy Senpai, which we never gave him a name. He's just known as Senpai. He is once again practicing his art in the club room just to have a wild Nagatoro appear out of nowhere to offer to once again be a model for him. But this time she likes to up her game. She came prepared this time. It looks like she wasn't prepared, but she was definitely prepared. She decided to come right ahead and say, I'll give you a leg up, and she starts to get nude. First, Nagatoro drops her skirt like any other lady does, and Senpai, being the guy he is, very squeamish, starts freaking out. Makes sense. And then she gets right in front of him and decides to rip off her button shirt right in front of him, and he covers his virgin eyes just to find out that she is in her swimsuit, her school swimsuit, which is just hilarious, as everyone kind of expected. There's no way she would just be this bold to him for no reason. Of course, as you expect, she then teases on the fact that he thought that she was butterball naked under that uniform, and the, you know, intro activating and all that cool stuff. Once again, great entrance song. I actually listened to it all the way through, and I was trying to see if it's one of those theme songs that grow on me more and more. So far, not really. It's not a theme song or opening that I get, I kind of like pop my head around to, but it's not a bad opening either. It fits the show just fine, as I said last time about it. So now that we got past the whole introduction of the show like usual, it is raining heavily. It is raining hard, and I guess it was a surprise typhoon, and it was supposed to be clear according to the forecast, but you know, it's raining heavily. So both Senpai and Nagatoro are running through the rain, and as they're running through the rain, you know, we learned something else about Senpai. His stamina, as we all expected, is absolute garbage. Like, the dude is exhausted, and he basically tries to sound tough talking to Nagatoro, saying, "Don't worry about me, go without me," and I'm just like, dude, it's just rain. Like, but you know, it's whatever. So both Nagatoro and him go right on the cabana after her suggestion, hey, let's just go under this, you know, for now until the rain passes by, because it could just be an unexpected shower, which does happen commonly after typhoons, and they go and chill there for a little bit. Now, the way the law of anime works and real life works to a certain degree is that white clothing while you're wet equals your body being slightly exposed. Well, only if you're a woman. If you're a guy, don't worry. If you're soaking wet and you're wearing a white shirt, we won't see a damn thing. We're not gonna see your skin. We're not gonna see pigments of your skin under the shirt. We're not gonna see your undershirt if you're wearing one. We're not gonna see anything. We're not gonna see any of your skin whatsoever. But if you're a woman, however, at least in Japan, I don't know how it is. In America, you can kind of see my dark skin under a white shirt if it gets soaked, and other women as well to an extent. Not so broad to the point of being able to see their underwear, but you can see somewhat of the coloration of what it is. But in Japan, it's different. When you're, if you're a Japanese lady and you're soaked, and only when you're in Japan, by the way, we are going to be able to see everything. And Nagatoro decides to take advantage to tease my boy. Now, personally, I thought she was in her school swimsuit immediately, like, because it was the same day. And she's like, oh, let me take this opportunity to tease him again about this in some way, shape, or form. And she purposely calls over my boy's name, or his title, excuse me, not his name, because we don't know what it is, and I doubt she knows what it is. And of course, you know, he had the same thinking process as me. First, he was embarrassed, thinking, oh crap, she's wearing white, right? I can't look at her. And then he was like, wait a minute. No, I know what's gonna happen. If I sit there and peek over all nervous or getting all nervous, she's gonna make fun of me because she's in her swimsuit saying, haha, what were you expecting? So he sits there and calls her out on it, and to everyone's shock beside my own, because the moment he started thinking that, I'm thinking, oh, never mind, she's in her actual underwear. Yep, she's in her underwear, like, or she has her underwear right under her uniform. Looks like she changed out of it. The swimsuit, which I imagine wouldn't be, you know, very comfortable wearing. I don't know. I wouldn't think bloomers would be comfortable to wear, but whatever. Or one pieces, they're not bloomers. And it's to the point where even Nagatoro is actually shocked that he turned around. Because let's be real, we all know and agree that our boy Senpai doesn't have balls whatsoever. So I'm not expecting him to actually turn around and look at me like, well, he's not gonna do that. And when he does, you know, she is shocked and actually embarrassed by it. And let me just say, she's really good at recovery and making things not awkward. Because she recovers and starts teasing him, oh, look, you did want to look at me, ha ha ha. Like, she was embarrassed as all hell, but she's able to recover fast, at least faster than Senpai. Senpai does not recover quick enough. He takes too long to recover. That's one of his other many flaws that he has. But Nagatoro is able to keep teasing him a little bit about it, and a strong gust of wind strikes them. And they realize, oh, it's getting cold. It's getting balls deep cold. So after realizing the situation they're in, and you know, Senpai is actually pretty far from home. It looks like it's gonna take maybe like 10 to 15 minutes for him to get back home from where they are. Nagatoro's place is really close by. Nagatoro invites him to come over to her place. Now, she did it. Now, before she asked, take note that she was actually really shy about doing it. She was first a little nervous to say it, and then she got balls and just did it. And you know, he agreed, I guess, and they end up at her place. Now, first of all, let me just say, when they get to the, you know, to Nagatoro's home, let me just say Nagatoro is a great hostess. She has actual proper hospitality. Is that the word? Yeah, hospitality. I never used that word ever, so it's actually kind of funny. I didn't know I know what that word means, but and how it's supposed to use. But now I think about, I never used the word hospitality for anything. Except at this very moment to describe Nagatoro, because she actually did a good job. She offered him to, of course, you know, hey, go ahead, you can go take a shower, dry yourself off so you don't get a cold, and I'll let you borrow my big brother's shirt and pants, or running suit pants, whatever. And you know, that was really cool. She gave him a towel to use to, of course, go ahead and dry off after showering, and she went to go, I presume, to wash and dry his school uniform so he can wear that on his way out and can get home just a-okay. So first of all, just want to give Nagatoro some props. You know, it shows that, you know, you can see the difference between what her actual personality is and then when she's in the mood to tease, you know, him. She actually isn't that bad of a person. She's actually pretty damn, she's a good person. She's pretty cool. All right, that's the most I can actually say about it. So good girl on that behalf. Alright, but now I have to take the time to bully Senpai because, you know what, he had this one coming, and, you know, usually whenever he's bullied by her, it's not like he deserves it. She's, you know, going far and beyond to the socially awkward kid, but this time it was his fault. He kind of deserved this one, where after she leaves and tells him to go ahead and, you know, shower and hands him a towel, he starts to speculate that this towel might be the same towel that Nagatoro used as well, for whatever reason. And he brings his face closer to it. Looked like he's about to sniff it, honestly. You know, that's just me guessing. I don't know what he was gonna do with it, either bury his face in it or sniff it. I don't know what he was gonna do. It just wasn't a good look. And Nagatoro is peeping on him to see what he's doing, and then already knows what he was thinking. And you know what? Her making fun of him in that moment, I am a-okay with it. Yeah, we could definitely judge her for peeping in on him. I don't know if she was planning to see him react and realize that it wasn't her towel, or she kind of just figure out that's what he would be thinking. I don't know, but either she was trying to see, you know, hit my boy naked, or you know, she knew he was going to be doing that. And I like to think it's the latter rather than the former. All right, after so the two youngsters, they're drinking some coffee or tea. I don't know. I think it's coffee, but I'm a dumb bitch. I don't know what the Japanese drink their tea or coffee in anymore. I don't know if they use the same cups or not. I don't pay attention. I should pay attention. But she starts to realize that he's kind of on edge and not even realize, kind of just already knew, like, that he's never been in another girl's room before. Everyone already knew that. Even though he said it's a secret, everyone knows he's never been in a girl's room before. It was funny when that part came up. Q went as far to sit there and said, he went as far and said, "Oh, come on, we all know you have never been in a girl's room before. You saying it's a secret just confirms it. Like, we all know you're not at some other bitch's house, man. You're not doing that. You're struggling with a girl that's younger than you by a year. Like, we know you're not at other girls' places." And just like, high school peeps do when they're at another person's house, what do? It's a girl and a guy at a house by themselves, because Nagatoro's family's out right now. Everyone's gonna be expected to come home late, so it's just a boy and a girl at their youth. So what do you expect to go down? Yeah, you know it. They start playing video games, not just any video game, fighting video games, because that's the best way to assert your dominance, to know who truly is the master in the relationship. All right, and just saying right now, he goes hard on her. He roll stars her in this game, and even I was like, damn. It's weird, I knew he was gonna win because he's a fucking nerd. Like, he's gonna be good at this video game, like really good. And but he roll stars her. Like, it was embarrassing. Even I felt bad, like, damn dude, you didn't let her even hit you once. Like, sometimes I let him hit me a few times just to feign like, oh, you tried your best, but let's be real, like, yeah, you kind of went in on him. So it was just great seeing that. And the best part about that is, after she gets roll star, she starts to cheat when facing him. And you see a quick little montage of them playing video games, and it progressively becomes more and more wholesome as they both start genuinely having fun playing video games together. And I'm not gonna lie, that made my heart go ba-dump. And we know how I like my heart going ba-dump around here. And that was a good way to end the first half of the episode. I thought it was pretty nice. He leaves out, the typhoons pass, or the showers pass. He sat there and said, thank you for having me over, and he rolls out of there like a 20-sided die. And I thought that was actually pretty cool. It was a wholesome way to start the episode. It made my heart feel things. I like it when my heart feels things, because it reminds me I'm not an empty shell wandering around the planet not knowing what I'm doing with myself. So that was really nice. So let's move on. Next half. All right, for some reason, Senpai decided to eat at the lunch hall today, or the dining hall at school. Usually he doesn't do it. He usually eats by himself inside the club room. And I guess in the past, whenever he did go to the dining hall, it wasn't really relatively popular. What I do know in Japan is typically no one really goes to the dining hall, at least from my understanding. A lot of people bring their own lunches, and sometimes people, when they do go get their lunch from the dining hall, they go pick it up and they head back to the classroom, eat with their friends and stuff like that in that class, which is a solid way to make sure you're not late. But I don't know how this rules work at this school. Maybe you're not allowed to bring food from there into the classroom, which is possible. That might be a rule they have there. And, that just might be the premise of it. But going into this, as he's trying to figure out where he's gonna sit, because it's all packed, and let's be real, the law of the land is it's gonna be awkward if it's packed, because now since you're running a little late and now everything's packed, even if there is a seat available, you're sitting with a group of friends. There's a group of friends there, and you're that one guy that's coming in and sitting with them, and they're gonna look at you like you're freaking weird. Like, it's just gonna happen. Either you need to get there early enough to the point where you get a table, and as you're eating there, other people join you. Even if it's a group of friends, they can't really call you weird. Yeah, they're gonna see you don't have friends, but like, they're not gonna think, what the fuck's up with this guy? They're gonna just be like, oh, well, since he doesn't seem to have anyone to eat with, we can just go ahead, eat there, and he's gonna leave eventually. He got there before us. Or if he ends up sitting there as long as he does, and it doesn't really bother us. It's weird when you're just a guy coming in, though. So that's how it was for me in high school, I imagine. I don't know about you guys, but yeah. But of course, it's not. Don't tease me, Miss Nagatoro, for no reason, because Nagatoro has a table with two of her friends, and she says, "Hey, senpai, come over here and sit right next to me. Come on, get over here." Senpai looks right over there, and he sees nothing but death. He knows it's a damn trap, And honestly, I understand. The funny thing is, so far out of her friends, only one of them actually doesn't seem that bad. Like, she's not that bad. Like, she's a little childish, but she's not. She doesn't seem like she's as sadistic as the other friend that's there, which I would like to talk about a little bit. But she actually seems rather cool. She's not that bad. Like, yeah, she goes with the flow. That's what she does. But honestly, with this portion of the episode, there's nothing really I can really say or add on to it. It's just as you expect. Everyone's teasing him, whatever. Nagatoro is sitting there saying, they ask, hey, is this your boyfriend? She say, yep, sure is. And, he's just being embarrassed, whatever. It happens. The one thing we can sit there and say that I did find interesting, it did confirm my damn bias that I said in the very first episode that everyone saw a mile away, actually 100 miles away, is the fact that Nagatoro is, she holds Senpai in a dear spot in her heart. Like, that's her man. That's her senpai. You don't bother her senpai. You could tease him a little bit, but there's a boundary that you have to abide by. And if you don't, you're gonna feel her wrath. As far as I know, Nagatoro is actually a very straightforward person. Based off the last episode where we see how she interacts with other guys, and other people in general, she's just really straightforward. She's not really teasing with other people. She's just direct, and she gets straight to the point and says what she thinks about something. And if she has a problem, she's gonna let you know she has a problem, which is what I do like about her character so far. And the thing is, one of her friends, the one who's not too bad with the, she has little pigtails. Is it pigtails? I don't know how that hairstyle, twin tails. I don't know. I'm stupid. But the one with the, with the twin hair tails, whatever, not twin ponytail. All right, let me. But the one with, the two ponytails, basically, she sits there and she grabs, Senpai's hand and say, hey, you want to be my boyfriend too? Ha ha ha, as a joke. And you can see in the eyes of Nagatoro that she is not happy whatsoever. Like, she's like, hey, you got to move your hand off my boy or I'm going to hurt you. She doesn't notice it at first, her friend doesn't, but Nagatoro is just like really attentive, like looking at her like, what are you doing touching my boy? And, she lets go and, moves on. They sit there and say, he's kind of like a pet. And they go back to teasing him, whatever, all that nonsense. And right when, she starts talking of, Nagatoro's talking about our boy's hair, as she, does to tease him, like, yeah, he is, that's why she's petting him. And her friend once again sees that, oh, his hair is really fluffy. She goes to go touch it, and Nagatoro stops that shit. She grabs her hand and said, nah, you don't want to touch it, it's all sticky. And you could tell by her eyes, and her friend even realized by her eyes, oh, I got it, I'm feeling things. You could tell that it's serious because the music just stops. And she's just like, woo, okay, got it. Don't touch your man's hair, got it. Okay, understandable. So they go back to teasing him, and the other friend, who I'm about to talk to, or talk about, not talk to, I don't know how you talk to anime characters, but the one I'm about to talk about, she's just like, he's more of like a slave. And, like, hey, you're a slave, ha ha ha. And then she's like, yeah, I'll work, to Twin Tails girl. And she goes to once again touch Senpai, and Nagatoro grabs her hand to stop her, and she doesn't say anything. She just looks her friend in the eye. Nagatoro's just looking crazy as hell. She doesn't say anything, and she just goes back to sitting down and staying quiet. She's like, all right, got it. Just not gonna touch him at all, period. Doesn't matter any context, I ain't touching him. And the other friend notices Nagatoro's behavior and she decides she's going to now start teasing both Nagatoro and, of course, Senpai. How does she do it? She sits there and calls Senpai a bug because he doesn't even fight back like a slave would. And that right there was too far for our girl, and she takes it personal. Senpai, of course, notices and says, she came out on my behalf? Nah, that's not possible. But he sees that she's definitely upset. So he gets up, and my boy yells out, I'm not Nagatoro's boyfriend, but everyone's looking now. And everyone in the dining hall is like looking over now because he stood up, he yelled, everyone's looking at a giant pause, it's dramatic. He calms down, He sits right back down in his seat and he goes back to eating, and they're literally like, that's it? And he's like, and they're like, you're supposed to say something good right there. And he was just like, well, honestly, that's all I wanted to say. He didn't think that far what he wanted to actually say. And that's how that scene pretty much ends. They says laugh it off and think it's hilarious, and they go back about their business. Everyone's lives move on. Next scene. So, for some reason, while in the art club room, Nagatoro decides she's going to help Senpai learn how to fight back, because she's like, you never fight back at all. And he's like, nah, not really. And she pretty much teaches him how to fight back by turning every insult into more of a slapstick. Something more comedic, so that means as you get roasted, you don't look embarrassed or salty, and instead you just turn it into like, it's just a joke. You're seen as boys, and everyone's like, ah ha ha. Everyone's having a good time. It makes you not look, terrible, or like it doesn't, confirm that thing you're being made fun of in a way. It's something that everyone does, really. Everyone has their banter with their friends where they sit there, they make fun of each other, and the law of the land is if you're too salty, now you're being made fun of for being too salty, and if you don't say anything back, now they're looking at you like, damn, he's gonna take that. And that's basically how she's teaching them how to, turn the situation from it just being, like kind of cruel and being made fun of into, hey, everyone's having a good time here and it's all right. Everyone's laughing at what your actions are, and they're laughing at what they said. Everyone's laughing. It has nothing to do with action. It shows a way of, it's not too serious or seen as like bullying. It's a good way to seem like it's consensual and everything's cool, at least from the outside looking in. After practicing a little bit, this time Nagatoro's like, all right, this time you're gonna do this on your own. I'm gonna make a joke. I'm gonna start making fun of you a little bit, and I want you to do what we've been practicing. So they go ahead and they start. She starts making fun of his fluffy hair and calling it like a sheep's and whatnot, and something simple. I didn't think that was a big deal. I actually thought she was toning it down than usual. And turns out, I guess Senpai is really sensitive about his hair, because he's genuinely angry, and he's actually about to cry. He sat there and said, you went too far, and he's actually genuinely hurt by this. Now, and Nagatoro did feel bad, because she actually didn't mean to actually hurt his feelings. She was just trying to help out. Which, you know what? You try to help out. It happens. Sometimes you try to help out and your best isn't good enough. It happens. But here's the thing, though. She's goddamn sadistic. So she sees he's about to cry, and she's able to help with the recovery of it by making fun of him on a different subject, turning it on something else. Oh, are you gonna cry? Are you about to cry about this? And she's telling him, smack her right here, like they practice. She's pushing him to do this thing. And of course, that being said, he goes ahead and does it, but he accidentally slaps her in the boob. And he realized what he did. He's embarrassed, and she's also embarrassed. And once again, here's when the Nagatoro's greatest strength is her recovery. After that happens, yeah, she's embarrassed, but she turns around and says, hey, look at you, good job. Now make sure to slap me here next time, though. Unless you did that on purpose, to make fun of him in a little way, and it helps to make things not awkward. And that right there is what I have to commend Nagatoro. She's really good at not making things seem awkward when things don't go exactly the right way. She's able to recover just fine, and I do think that's what that makes those two characters actually do well. Where Senpai, not really good at, recovering from such a, thing, but Nagatoro, she's able to do so and turn it into just her, making fun of him, which actually does work out for both of the relationships, the style that it is. So that's all I have to really say about this episode, or what went down in this episode. I do think that this episode was a very sweet episode, and Nagatoro is actually growing on me more as a person, which is actually really cool. I do like that. I was hoping, that she wasn't going to be some wham I disliked, or she was going to just be annoying to watch the entire time. But I'm happy it wasn't like that. I did enjoy it. I do like Senpai a little bit more. I think he's a wimp, but, he's also growing as a character. And, it's really fun watching these two interact. It's actually, it's different. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and also ring the little notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a video. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.